Hello everyone, welcome back to ERD Stitches YouTube channel. Hope you people are doing well. That is very great to know. So today we are going to continue our classic box ladies handbag. I've posted the video of the cutting and the gumming of our leather. That is the part 1. So now we are going to the part 2. Part 2, we are starting the sewing. So if you have not watched the part 1, try to watch the part 1 before you watch this part 2. So, and also before I start, I want to appeal to you, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel to support me. Like my videos, share my videos. It will not cost you anything to share my video. Just touch the share buttons and you are good to go. Share it everywhere, your WhatsApp status, your Facebook, anywhere. Share it to support this mama. Thank you very much. Let's get started. Okay, now we are going to start with the sewing tutorial. If you have not watched the cutting tutorial and the gumming tutorial, please try to watch the cutting and the gumming before you start with this video. Try to watch it. So we are going to start with the main body, the lining strap, the flap, and the sewing strap. So these are what we are going to sew now. And if you don't know how to sew a straight line, you can sew everything down by marking. Look at, you can see, you see it, you see the allowance I used to sew. You have to mark the allowance where you will sew. Mark it down. Use your leather marker to mark it down before you sew, so that your sewing will be straight. Look at the allowance that I used there. Can you see it? 0.1. Is it 0.1 or 1? 0.1. Can you see it? That is what I used to sew. So now I'm going to my sewing machine to sew on the main body round with the same measurement. See this measurement on the flap, I mark it on my leather. Can you see it? I mark it also on my lining flap, you can see it, and also my sewing strap. I'll mark it in all. So I'm going now to sew on it. So I'm starting my sewing now. Here you have to make use of your oil. The size of needle I'm using is 23. If you have 25, fine. If it's good for the leather, you can use 23. You can also use 22, but 21, I'm not sure of that. So the needle I'm using now is 23 needle. Okay, this is what I have now after sewing it. So I'm going to keep this aside. I'm going to pick the main body. I'm going to start my sewing from the base. That's where I'm going to start from the base. And like I said earlier, you have to oil your work. It will make your work very easy for you to sew. It will also not make the work leather not to drag. So don't forget to oil when you are sewing. So this is where we started from. So you are going to end it there also. So this is it for the body. Make sure you apply your oil. We are sewing the lining strap now. I'm going to sew the lining strap now. I'm done with the flap and the the bend body. So now is the lining strap. In fact, this lining strap we're supposed to sew it this way also. So I still need to sew this side. So I'll turn it this way and sew it a little like this. I'll stop. So I'm going to sew this side because I needed to sew it initially. So you start your sewing like this. I don't like to backstitch when I'm making a handbag. I don't backstitch. That's why I start my sewing from somewhere there. It's not as if I don't backstitch at all, but there are places you don't backstitch at all. So this is it. So I'm going to sew the second one. But apply your gum. Make sure you apply your gum before you start. It's very important. Yes. Always make use of your oil. It's very important. Pick the second one. Okay, we are going to sew the zip cloth now to the zipper strap. The length of this zip cloth I have here is 16 inches. So I'm going to start my sewing. This is the folded side, while here is the pieces side. So I'm going to start my sewing from the pieces side. This side now you are seeing is the pieces side. So I'm going to start my sewing now. I like starting this way because I don't like to backstitch. So I'm sewing. Watch what I'm doing now. So when I sew till a quarter of an inch remaining, I will stop and fix my zip cloth. Look at the way I placed my zip cloth. Just watch. Then I will continue my sewing. When I get to the end, I will flip it over this way. Watch what I'm doing. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. So I'll continue my sewing. When I get here, I will raise it up. Watch my hand. I will move my zip cloth in this way. Watch the way I pushed it in. Just look at that my hand now. Look at my finger, the way I pushed it in. So I will place my leather on top. Make sure you push the zip cloth in very well before you sew. Push it in very well. Then I will now continue my sewing. So as you sew, make sure you leave like quarter-inch allowance on the zip cloth. You can see mine. You can see it now. Quarter-inch allowance on the zip cloth. Then you arrange your leather very well and continue your sewing. That allowance we left is to enable way for the passage of the zip runner, which is also the zip head. That is why it is very important to leave like quarter an inch allowance as you sew your leather on your zip cloth. As you sew, apply your oil. I keep repeating this because I don't want too much questions. I may not have time to answer the question. That's why I'm taking my time to clear everything as I sew. Move it this way. And so. So I'm stopping it somewhere here. Now I'm going to sew the second one. Pick the second one. So I'm going to sew now. I pick the second one. Make sure that the folded part is facing each other. I'll keep this aside. I'm going to start my sewing now. The tongue. You bring this one, raise the foot up, raise your zip foot up, make sure that it's on the same line with the one that you have already sewn. Can you see it now? It's equal here now. So I bring down the foot, continue my sewing. Then when I get to this point, I will turn it this way. It's very important it's equal. Make sure that it is equal. If you have need to use oil, use your oil. Make sure it's equal here. I keep emphasizing on that. Why I'm emphasizing on all these things is because I don't want after now you come and be asking me questions. I may not have time to answer all those questions. That's why I'm trying my best to see here. You open it up this way. I'm trying my best to explain everything. You can use your blackhead machine to make this type of bag. Don't limit yourself. You see it? You continue. So this is what we have now for our zipper strap. We are done sewing it, so I'm going to keep it aside also. So now we are going to sew the handle. This is the handle. Remember the 17 by 3 inches that we folded this way to get this. So we are going to fold it again into 2 this way and stitch it down. By the time we stitch it, we are going to get something like this. I've already sewn this one, so this is the second one. I want to sew it. When you fold it, make sure it's equal at this point. So you put it in your machine. Here you must need oil, although it depends on the leather you are using. I've already applied my oil. When you fold it, make sure it's equal at this point. Are you seeing how it is? Make sure it's equal. Then you continue your sewing. So you continue your sewing this way. You can sew fashion bags with your blackhead machine. Look at it as I'm doing. That is why I'm here to put you through. You can sew it. I know that when you see it online, I always admire it. Try it out. Give yourself a challenge that I must do this. Don't limit your blackhead machine. There are many bags, many styles of bags that your machine can do. Don't limit it. Just take up a challenge and try. There is no harm in trial. Try. The more you try, the more you get perfect. So this is the two. So this is where we are going to end this tutorial today. Next, we will start with the coupling of the bag. Thank you for watching and God bless you all. Please share my videos.